Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We are having a civil war with our landowners and hopefully winning. But we'll see if that happens. We've got good ratios of strength against them on all fronts, but our finances are just awful. So we'll see how that goes. I really, really don't want to defund the military, because that would really be a problem. So I'm hoping to win this quickly. And by quickly, I mean like within a year. Where is their capital? So their capital states is Vendigar. So I think that's our strategic objective here. And over here, it's just to get to the end of the revolutionary space. We are winning on the southern fronts. This is good. And on the main front, where we have a lot of British assistance. So I'm hoping we're able to achieve success. Again, we have war support decaying faster than they do. Beautiful. We're partially occupied. We've taken casualties. They don't have line items for casualties. Okay, now they have a line item for casualties. And it's a lot higher than ours. So we're losing one more support per week. They're losing 1.6. And it should be going up as we get control of more and more of their territory. So as you can see, they've now got a line item for being 11% occupied. It's not much. In the most recent patch of the game, they changed the rules for what being occupied causes, partially because there were a lot of situations where countries were... It used to be directly proportional. Now it's kind of logarithmically proportional. You need to take control of a bunch of territory before you start to really lose war support for occupation. So we just finished General Staff. That'll really help our military eventually. For now, though, I think there are other things we need to work on. I definitely want to get Romanticism going as fast as I can, with the reason being that that's basically going to be the next... that an economy change is going to be the next thing, now that I don't have any angry landowners to worry about, which I don't. How legitimate is my government? Still not great. Can I get any more legitimate? I cannot. Beautiful. There's homesteading. So that'll really dramatically increase the power of the rural folk. Again, our finances are just awful, but we are continuing to press forward here. We're losing war support at 1.1 per week. They're at 4. So we're steadily pressing in towards the capital, or towards their sort of heartland here. Not winning here, which is unfortunate, but we do have part of their capital occupied, so I'm just going to make sure this stays. So this burning line here is the border. All right, phew, we still do have a little bit here. All right, so we completed... So with the move over into 1851, we've completed the Suppressed Separatism Tanzimat journal entry, and that means we've finished 4 journal entries, and that puts us in a really good place. So, the Ottoman Empire has successfully modernized and reasserted itself on the world stage. A new era begins for the Ottoman state. Sublime. That is the only word for it. To walk the streets of Istanbul and see modern factories and schools, to see the guards practicing their military drill, a landscape once dominated by peasant farmers is now littered with shining cities. And to think that only a few decades ago, the empire was on the brink of collapse, or once the European powers looked on us with pity and greedily sought to partition our lands, now we see their diplomats gazing in awe of our accomplishments, forced to recognize us as equals. God is good. So, our 2 options are the army could use additional reforms. This makes us way stronger. Weekly innovation multiplier. That seems good. Or we should reconquer the Balkans. So that gives us claims on Attica, the Peloponnese, and Crete. So that's Attica, the Peloponnese, and Crete. And then northern Serbia, southern Transylvania, northern Transylvania. So those are... what state are you? Not Transylvania? I thought... These are northern and southern Transylvania. And then northern Serbia is here. Interesting. I don't necessarily want to fight Austria. At least not right now immediately. So we'll just make the army stronger, and hopefully that'll help us resolve our current situation. I'm surprised we can get an opportunity to get a big pile of loyalists. I also think this should solve some of our other debuffs. Yes, we have lost our dysfunctional bureaucracy debuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and increase that. The rural folks' power should be increasing by a lot over time here, so I'm going to basically pull them into the government as soon as I can. Hopefully this situation will be resolved pretty soon. Oh, they're almost ready to give up. Excellent. Huh. I knew that war was going to go... Well, I didn't know it was going to go well, but I hoped it was going to go well, but I didn't think it was going to go this way. There's Screw Frigate. That was the technology that was spreading to us. That doesn't really help us any. It unlocks a new production method for our oh, that's right. No, this is... Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Hopefully this thing will sort itself out. Okay, so it looks like we do still need to press them until they run out, until they get to completely to minus 100 war support. So, but hopefully these fronts are about to merge, and hopefully that won't mess up our structure too much, which it has. So let's put a leader on this front here. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good. We will need to take some time to be... to sort out our finances and get back to being in the black and out of debt. There it goes. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to give this some time. Where are we on incorporation? We're about halfway here. Very good. Just going to let this go. Actually, oh, this will be so expensive. I'm going to wait on improving our production methods right now. Stay with Ox Powered, thank you. 2. Unlocked medical degrees, that's very good. Go back to using butchering tools now that we're all together in the British market. Fix the production methods for our buildings. Huh. I don't know. Oh, they must have switched over all of them. Go back to producing cannons. Go back to having functioning urban centers. Go back to being government. Whew. Alright. I'm going to go back to paying the government properly. This should get us back to... Oh. I'm going to get out of debt, and then I'm going to increase... Oh. Actually, the intelligentsia have become a little stronger, and the rural folk have grown very strong. So let's pull them into the government. I think their strength will only continue to increase. So, we're still on traditionalism, because we haven't unlocked a better one yet. If we go to... I'm really tempted to dispense with autocracy. But before we do that, let's talk about racial segregation. Who's going to be mad? The Sunni Ulema, they are very powerful here. Let's go ahead and ban slavery. Because the local governors can't do heck about it. And that will really dramatically reduce their power even further. We are already growing up to maximum law enforcement, which is good. And one more week here. How much is reducing taxes going to hurt us financially? Not that much. Let's do it. We do have a really impressive number of... So now I'm thinking I'm actually going to cut back some of these taxes because I really want to increase the strength of my intelligentsia. So this will be a movement. We finally got some freaking loyalists. That's helping our government stay much more popular with all of our interest groups. This is very good. This is good. We did it. We're improving our relations with the Russians. I do have some influence left over. Not quite enough to improve relations with France, but I could work on any of these countries a problem. Greece is antagonistic. Puppeting them is tempting. How much infamy am I got? I'm at reputable, so I could do some more conquest. Maybe I'll put a pin in that for now. I really goofed up my finances, and I don't want to put myself in a situation where I can't function. I'm still trying to ban slavery. My local governors will be getting some of their power back after not too long. So to review what the change to homesteading does is it makes this the production method for all of our agricultural buildings, and that is a lot better. Basically cuts the ownership in half between farmers and aristocrats, and that makes the farmers much, much stronger. Oh, debate failed. How? Well, that is unfortunate. But hopefully we'll be able to get going. Because I really, really would like to not have slavery. Slavery seems like it's terrible. Does this help? No, it does not. Alright, we've gathered a significant gold reserve, so it's time to reform the armed forces. There's law enforcement investment going up. So what this does, this is skirmish infantry, so this is the modern, as it were, infantry, the modern infantry in 1852. This is going to impose a significant weakness on us for a year, but once we get to it being February of 53, we'll be able to really go on some foreign adventures here. Gosh, I sure don't want to just lose this, but on the other hand, we're getting stronger and stronger over time, so I'm hoping we can get some advanced results, some debate results that aren't terrible. We'll be able to get to where we want to be in order to be able to function here. I really would like to be able to ban slavery, because again, slavery is one of those things that really, really makes the local governors stronger. Once we finish with Romanticism, I think we're going to move on to, very good, anything else in here that I want? Not exactly. I think it's going to be time for the APE, the atmospheric pump engine, then mechanical tools and railways. Railways is a big technology because it'll allow us to increase the infrastructure of our states, which will let us increase buildings. I think we can go ahead and resume construction. Our finances are still pretty good. Yeah, this is looking pretty okay. We only have one... Oh, there were 4 construction sectors in Lower Egypt. That's what was goofing up my... Excellent. That's what was goofing up my methods earlier. So if we go to this, yeah, that's going to cost us a pile of cash, which I have to say, it is tempting. Did we... I could have sworn we had at least one state that had multiple, but maybe I'm wrong. I gotta say, our radicals are really pretty far down. That civil war, ironically, led to a lot of radicals being dead, and that ends up being pretty good for us. We got extra slot in the Balkans and Caucasus HQs. Okay, so can we... You're pretty good, and you're a Republican. Interesting. Who's currently head of the Balkans HQ? Yes, Patton Stills. Gonna deal with that in a second here. Arabia, Anatolia, Balkans. You're jingoist with the Sunni ulema. I'd rather have someone else. So, it's gonna be this guy. And then... So for the Caucasus HQ... You're brave and a defensive strategist. I want to keep you for something better. You're going in there. Yes, so we just unlocked a new technology for our food industries. To let us output additional liquor. Let's see if we can export some liquor. Ooh. Friends would like our liquor. Ooh, knowledge of baking powder spreading to us. That's wonderful. I have to admit, I think we're doing really well, friends. We've accomplished a lot. We've made sure the Ottoman Empire has held its position. We're actually, in terms of prestige, we're above Austria. We're almost above Great Qing. In fact, if we leave the British market, we would move up to 4th globally, which would make us really, really strong. I think a priority... Once we get done with slavery, I think we're going to go to racial segregation, because that's going to basically make virtually all of our cultures in the broader kind of cradle of civilization Egypt area. It's going to make all of those cultures accepted, and that's going to be really, really good for us. I still don't know what's going on with our influence. I need a rival. Spain, you're a problem. Prussia, are you rivaling us? No. Alright. There's enough influence to improve with France. We're good with Austria. The Russians are neutral with Prussia. Let's improve them. Opposition members put forth demands. This will really... So interesting. So, again, you've seen this event before. We can piss off our people who are against slavery, or we can but increase our chance, or we can make them happy but reduce our chance. I'm going to increase our chance, because they'll be fine. They'll live. They'll tolerate it. So, conquering Greece, of course, is going to be... It's going to lead to a lot of... infamy. 9. And 16.8, that's going to put us over 25, and I definitely don't want to do that, because I'm still kind of not in the greatest position. And particularly, I don't want to fight Austria at this time, because they have a lot of power compared to us. Well, we can maybe take them, but I don't want to risk it while I'm in the middle of doing something like this. I mean, I'd still be risking it if I tried to seize parts of Greece. Do we still have a truce with Egypt? Another 7 months. Maybe we'll complete the conquest of Egypt. There we go. So we completed the journal entry for the Metropolitan Police. The dedicated police force has solved a series of high-profile murders in Constantinople thanks to our investment in their institution. Public confidence in the police is at an all-time high. Constantinople by gaslight can be a treacherous place. The papers would have you believe that danger lurks around every corner, but all of that is set to change. With a peeler patrolman on every street, our citizens will be able to stride confidently in the knowledge that they are protected from the criminal element. A peeler being aligning with Robert Peel, who was one of the prime ministers of Great Britain. Medals for all our brave bobbies. This gives us a bunch of loyalists among service folk. Or Constantinople's 5-star on the case, reduced radicals for standard of living. That's really strong. Oh, but it's only in Eastern Thrace. No, we'll do this. Oh, this is also only in Eastern Thrace. Well, let's do it. Pretty good. Probably the other one would have been smarter now that I'm thinking about it, but it is what it is. Finance is staying pretty solid. Do I have separatism anywhere? I have separatism in Lower Egypt. Still being incorporated. Once they get incorporated, this is going to go way down. Doing very well here. Excellent. Got into consideration. That's very good. Again, we have 50% chance of either success or advance, so I'm very happy with our progress on curing our country of slavery. Unfortunately, the local governors have once again gained some power, but hopefully they won't be able to, hopefully, yeah, we still got 4 more years of them being not able to do basically anything in our country. So, we have a protectorate over Tunis. Is good. France, what's going on with your politics? You have Louis Napoleon in charge. Cool. He just changed outfits. I guess he stopped being a commander. And you're working on the reconquest of Algeria, probably. Not reconquest. I don't know why I'm calling it the reconquest of Algeria. It's just the conquest of Algeria. I don't know. I think I'll probably... You're a protectionist. Okay. To enact interventionism. That would be interesting. Oh, that's right. I'm locked behind slavery. Okay, so this was the first thing I needed to do anyway. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember everything that's... all the dependencies involved in the laws in this game. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the end of the year, and then I'm going to take some time to consider my next move, because this is going to be... This has been quite a wild and an excellent run, and I have had fun with it, but now we're kind of into the game proper, and I think that's going to be something that's going to need to wait and see kind of where things go. I need to be able to plan, because originally this run was only going to be finishing the Tanzimat journal entry, and now that we've gotten that done, I think we're in a really good stead, but I don't want to go too far unless I'm... without sort of thinking about what my actual next move is. Conquering more of Egypt can't be the wrong play. There goes our truce with them. Alright, so 3.2, 3.3, 6.8. I can't get Eritrea because I don't have an interest. Let's declare these back. So I can get all these for about 12 infamy, and then these would probably take another round. I probably wouldn't be able to do both of those. I should definitely look to increasing my rank further. Can't do that. So the hard thing about the rural folk is they don't mesh well with the armed forces, who are another really good group to have. The armed forces and the intelligentsia don't get along either. And if I do these, then I won't have my Sultan's interest group in the government, and that's not great either. But I definitely need the rural folk in here in order to have any chance at golden estuaries in Brazil. In order to have any chance at increasing about moving my I'm going to do this about moving my economy into agrarianism, which is what I need to do because I've got to get away from traditionalism. So, industrial barriers. Factories in Lower Egypt have been reported to be placing Greek people into roles with incredibly poor working conditions, owing to their status as second-class citizens in the Ottoman Empire. I know. Us businessmen have a reputation for only caring about the bottom line. That may be true for some, but the way I see it, any venture must be built on a strong foundation of values. The Greek don't understand those values. How could they? There are values. I never know what to do with this event. It never feels like it never I never know what to do with this. I'm gonna not piss off the student ulema. I don't understand how that pop event thing shakes out. As you can see, the local governors are positively furious, but I can't do anything that I care to do about that right now. How's that for explaining my logic? It's not that I can't do anything. It's just that all the things I could do, I don't wanna. All right, so our interest should be established now. So let's see how much it'll take for us to 8.2 infamy for Kordofan, Blue Nile, 14.4. Interesting. Eritrea, 4.9. All right, so these two might be their own war. But for now, let's just get this finished. We'll get to the end of the year, and then we'll call it. Life among the lowly. Selim Excessibashi, leader of the petite bourgeoisie, has written a sensational story about life on a slave plantation. Late in the afternoon, on a chilly day in February, two gentlemen, their chains close together, seemed to be discussing some subject with great earnestness. For convenience sake, we have said two gentlemen. One of the parties, however, once he began to speak of his plantation, did not appear to truly merit being called a gentleman. Celebrate Selim Excessibashi as a worthy author, gives us extra enactment chance, and increases his popularity. He's the abolitionist leader of the petite bourgeoisie. Or promote the petite bourgeoisie as a publisher of anti-slavery works. Makes them happier. So I can make them happier, or I could make them stronger. Does making them stronger help me at all? I don't think so. On the other hand, pulling some strength away from the petite bourgeoisie might be helpful. I don't know, or away from the landowners might be helpful. On the other hand, I don't know if this will do that. So I'm just going to go with opinion right now. I know I don't need it, but the effects of increasing their power is going to be unpredictable. With that having been said, I did say I was going to put a pin in it at the end of the year, and it's now the end of the year. So I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you all on the other side.